Hey, what's up? Welcome back. So, I found this video about Gabby and the whole Brian ordeal. Somebody said they picked him up and that he looked like he's been, well, he said he's been hitchhiking, but I ain't gonna say too much about the story. I'm just gonna get into the video, let y'all see what I had just watched.
Wednesday morning, September 22nd. So glad you're with us. I'm Susan Hendricks in today for Robin Meade. And we do start with new developments this morning. Gabby Petito's family is asking for time to grieve as they face the reality that she will never come back home again. A Wyoming coroner has confirmed the body FBI investigators found at a national park over the weekend is that of the 22-year-old. Her death has been ruled a homicide. The cause of death has not been released.
Homicide indicates that there was death at the hands of a person. The fact that this death was called a homicide would tell me that they must have a cause of death. They're not declaring it at this point because the autopsy is not completed. You need toxicology reports, microscopic investigation. There's a lot of information that has to be put together to finalize the autopsy report. But it indicates to me that there's clear evidence of not only the fact that it is a homicide, they know the cause of death.
Now, Gabby's family plans to make a statement once her remains are returned home to them in New York. Meanwhile, the FBI is asking the public to share tips that may help them find Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito's fiance. Investigators continued their search at a nature reserve near the North Point, Florida home he shared with his parents and with Gabby. Correspondent Layla Santiago reports what the search teams are doing. Layla.
The search continues for her fiance, Brian Laundrie. That is happening here in Venice, Florida, in a 25,000-acre wildlife reserve, making some pretty tough terrain for teams that are inside, trying to eliminate where he is not so they can try to get to where he actually is. Big critical question at the center of this investigation. And this comes, as we know, the FBI is taking the lead in this investigation. We watched as they surrounded the home of Laundrie's parents.
Investigators continue to piece together a timeline and influx of information coming in, including a woman who told police she gave Brian Laundrie a car ride right around the time Gabby went missing. Miranda Baker is her name. She and her boyfriend claimed they picked up Brian while he was hitchhiking in Wyoming, close to where investigators found Gabby Petito's body. She describes what his demeanor was like once he heard where Miranda Baker was going.
He freaked out. He's like, nope, I need to get out right now. Like pull over.
He said that he had hiked for days along Snake River, but when looking at his backpack, it wasn't full. And he said all he had was a tarp to sleep on, which you think if you're going camping for days on end, you'd want food and a tent, and he had none of that.
We have not been able to independently verify Baker's claims, but Florida police say they spoke to her before she posted this on TikTok. Gabby Petito, whose death has been ruled a homicide, a Utah park ranger says she warned Petito her relationship with her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, appeared toxic. This while responding to a reported domestic dispute between them while they were on their cross-country trip. Melissa Holes told Desert News this, quote, I was imploring with her to reevaluate the relationship, basically saying this was an opportunity for her to find another path to make a change in her life. She added, it's hard not to second guess myself and wish I said more or wish I had found the right words to make her believe that she deserved more. Police say neither Petito nor Laundrie wanted to press charges after that dispute, and they suggested the two separate for the night, which they did. Brian Laundrie's family says he vanished last week. Gabby's father responded saying he is hiding, not missing. Want to go live to Northport, Florida, where CNN correspondent Emma Walker is. Emma, what is the latest on the search as authorities there continue to look for Brian? Good morning.
Good morning to you, Susan. Yeah, we're right outside here, the Carlton Reserve, not too far from Brian Laundrie's home, and the search for him is expected to resume around 8 o'clock this morning. This is a 25,000 acre reserve, and the search around here has proven to be quite difficult. I mean, we're talking about really rough and rugged terrain. Authorities saying that much of this reserve is 75% of it actually is underwater, much of it waist deep water. And these waters are gator and snake infested. So a lot of challenges for the 50 or so law enforcement agents who will be here on scene to comb through this area. So as a result, they'll be deploying all kinds of technology to hopefully locate 23-year-old Brian Laundrie. We're told some of that technology will include drones and infrared cameras along with all-terrain vehicles. And Susan, I do want to mention, as you noted off the top, that Brian Laundrie's fiance, 22-year-old Gabby Petito, the FBI tweeting on Tuesday and confirming that the Teton County coroner confirming that those human remains discovered on Sunday in Wyoming are indeed that of Brian Laundrie's fiance, 22-year-old Gabby Petito. So her death has been ruled a homicide. The cause of her death remains unclear at this time. We just don't know exactly how she died. That is pending the final autopsy results, Susan.
Emma, do we know why the search continues to be focused in that nature reserve area? As you said, it's a difficult search to do, and we don't know everything that law enforcement knows in terms of why they're focusing on that particular area and continue to do so.
Well, there's a couple of reasons. First of all, we know that according to his family, that this is an area that he frequented, that he knows very well. But more importantly, this is the reserve that Brian Laundrie's parents told police this is where he left for on September 14th with a backpack. It's kind of a complex story with a lot of twists and turns, I'm sure, as you know, as you've been following this story. But what's also made this search so difficult is this 4-day head start that Brian Laundrie had ahead of investigators. If you just look at the timeline, and we'll go back to August 27th. That is when Gabby Petito's mother, according to police, received one of the last communications from her daughter. It was a text message. She told police in an affidavit that it was an odd text. And then 3 days later, according to the Petito family attorney, there was another last text message that was sent. They don't believe that it had come from Gabby Petito, but it did say that there was no service in Yosemite. Police at that time, though, believed that Gabby Petito was in Grand Teton National Park around the time those text messages.
So y'all see, he basically on the run from what it looked like. Because, I mean, the way he moving is very suspicious. How he's acting, everything he's doing is suspicious, like he did it. I mean, shit, I know if my girl was out there, and whether if somebody picked up a hitchhiker, and like they picked up a hitchhiker, and whatever happened then, I wouldn't have went down without fighting, shit. But I think clearly they got into another altercation, and he just lost it. I mean, from what they friends said, their relationship was toxic, which you can see of how he moving and how everything going, that it just too many clues pointing back to him being the one who killed his own girlfriend, his own fiance. I mean, it's kind of messed up. People was talking bad about this situation because of they trying to have this race war or something, like it's always white, 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 or always black, black, black. This is a story who clearly has a lot of evidence pointing to what we all speculate. So I think it's messed up. People was trying to make this into a race thing when you got somebody who's lost someone to be waking up seeing people trying to make it a race thing. It don't make sense at all that we still on that shit nowadays. I mean, there's just a lot of evidence, and they have police interaction. I mean, there's just so much. But thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, help a brother out.